Today we're going to do something stupid and wonderful, which sums up most of my life. Anyway, we're going to put these on, which, you know, are really cool, but you're probably going, what the hell are those? So every once in a while you find something awesome that's not expensive, that's kind of not a big deal to do, and it's always really exciting. And we're going to do to this bike today. So these are tip extensions, which, don't you all wish that for like 90 bucks you could extend your tip like about 2 inches, 9 inches, whatever, male measurement, that's 9 inches. So really simple, really cool thing to do. All we're doing is we're taking the tips off my 4-inch BAM sticks, zombie baffles on the Grinch, and pushing them out about that far. Why? Because I have a stretch rear, not a super stretch, but a stretch rear end, and the tips are, they could be out farther in my professional medical opinion. So what I'm talking about is that, as you can see, I have dual exhaust on my 22 Road Glide that we just did a body swap on and did the whole El Sueño radioactive green thing from Ed Van Black. And the rear end is slightly stretched. Not crazy, it's just a little bit more than your stock special CVO, whatever. So just to show you what I mean, that is a CVO stock rear end off the wife's bike, and that actually does not come out as far. It's a little more pudgy, I don't know, the angle's not as much. So that rear end doesn't come out as far off the bike as the Dominator fender and 4-inch stretch bags from Advan does. So if I were to put those mufflers, just as they are, those are 4-inchers, on the wife's bike, it would look kind of normal. Those are 5-inch, those are called 50 cals. Also tabs with BAM zombie baffles, but those are 5-inch pipe. So it would look normal on that bike, but on this one, I feel like the tips need to come out a little further, and Tabs, I think the only, if not one of the only companies I know of that makes these, and all that does is push that tip out, you know, 2-3 inches, again, I don't, about that far, so that the tips don't look too close to the paint. Not that it's a problem, we're not trying to protect the paint, it's not a heat thing or anything like that, it's just pure cosmetics. Side note, someone is going to say, like, why did you do 4-inch? Well, because they're loudest. I mean, in my professional medical opinion. Those are 50s, and they sound, to me, slightly quieter, not much, than the 4-inch. These are only available for Tab BAM sticks 4-inch in diameter or 4.5-inch in diameter, and they come in chrome or black. As far as I know, and thus far, they do not make them for 50 cals, for 5-inch pipe. But if you have 4s or 4.5s, which is 2/3 of what they make, you can get these in chrome or black and push the tips out a little further to make your muffler a little longer. So the muffler body is standard length. It's the same length on everyone's, you know, it doesn't matter where you get them from. You know, they're all the same length, but this way you get the tip out there. I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. So all I gotta do is take 2 Allen screws out of each pipe, stick that sucker in where the tip was, and then put the tip on this. It's not complicated, and it comes with the hardware you need to do it. You just gotta, you know, blue Loctite everything so it stays on. And I just put those tips on, so there's fresh blue Loctite on there, thank God, because if it had been a while, those might be hard to get out, but anyway. So the size of the screw is I can't see, blind, what is it? Where, what the hell? 5/32. So a 5/32 little Allen, you know, socket will get the screws out. This is not a sexy video, mainly because I'm in it, but we'll be done here in a second. So, tips off. That's the tip. It's just 2 of those bolts. These aren't the right ones. I mixed those up evidently. These are a little long. They're the right pitch and everything else. The thread's right, but they're a little long. So anyway, I use my little 5/16 to pull those 2 out of each side. And then now all you're doing is basically putting on the extensions where the tips were, and then you put the tips onto the extensions. So this guy is now going to go right here. I should be doing this with 2 hands, but, you know, people say, you need to show what you're doing more. Just whining and complaining and call YouTube for a refund. You know, like, okay. So that's kind of lined up. It's just cut your hand by slamming that on. And they're even lined up. So as you can see, we got, you know, that much further out. So I'm going to put the longer screws I had in here after I re-Loctite them, and then put the tips on there. And see, this is not a big deal. It's just going to get the tip out further and it'll look nice. So almost done. You know, it's extremely important to have traditions, and mine is to go ahead and lose this, at least one screw. I mean, like you can't do this properly unless hardware's missing. So you have to go through your box of many screws, and actually had to have the exact one. So this one's just disappeared to the universe. I have no idea where it went. I'll find it in 6 months. That's just how that works. Anyway, so got that missing screw. The other tradition I have is to not pay attention to how things go together, so you can't see when there's going to be a problem. It wasn't a problem. I just have to undo and redo things, which is my favorite thing to do. And this time it was not realizing that that screw is in perfect alignment with the fender, so you couldn't tighten it. So I had to take the extension back off, put the tip on the extension, and then put the extension on the muffler. So, which I'll have to do over here too. But anyway, I wanted to leave it this way just to show you, because the extension is, I mean, almost the size of the tip. I should have done one whole side and then not, so you could see. I'm just not that smart. But anyways, you can see this is after its extension pill you buy off Late Night TV, you know, to give you those extra inches. And then this is the one that isn't with the special pill you buy late at night off the TV. So kind of gives you an idea of how much it's going to get out there and look a little better. I think that looks a lot cooler. So now I'm going to pull this extension back off, put the tip on the extension and the extension on the pipe, and then it will be done. So before I even show you, this is one of my favorite products out there. So these are $90 before shipping. So they just make the pipe a little more dramatic, and it makes all the difference. I had one issue getting the extension on the right side. You saw it the first time where it was just really snug. They don't just fall in there. I think it's a good thing because you don't get any vibration. But if it doesn't go in, just remember, kids, violence solves everything. So if you have any challenges in life, just find something hard and hit it really hard with it, and it will bend to your, will. Anyway, that's what my dad taught me. Learned that in the Marine Corps. Bam. So, yeah. It's a pretty dramatic difference. Just that much, and it pushes it out and makes it, they're even now with the rear fender. The pipes are just more like, than they were before. So someone's going to ask, do you have to retune? No, not for the tips 2 inches. I mean, like, someone who does tuning for a living is going to say yes, because, it's their business. But no, just to move the tips. It's actually, this is after the baffle. This is just ornateness, so it's not really a thing. But let me stand up and my fatness off the floor, and you can see what this looks like from normal height. Yep, well, storm's coming. Yeah, all right. Welcome to Florida in the spring. So, there you go. Looks really cool. I like the pipe sticking out like that, and you could do this with slash tips, you know what I mean, and have them out there, or not do the extension and do the slash tips to follow the line of the fender and bags. That's what the wife did. She's actually kind of grown over it. So I have a set of 50 cals with straight tips, same as those. They make those for the same tip. They make those for the 4.5 and the 5 inch, or you can get slash down, or you can get black or chrome, or all different variations thereof. You can get a black pipe, black tip, chrome extension, whatever the hell you want to do. It's your world. But yeah, so you can make it kind of follow the line of the fender and bags. But I like that sort of like straight cut look. So yeah. So I'll put the link to this. This is just an accessory on Tab's site. Do they fit other pipes? I don't know. They're not made to fit other pipes. If they do, maybe you can drill and tap yours. I don't know, but you can buy a 4-inch and a 4.5 inch extension. Those are machined. They're not just like a piece of pipe that's been crimped down. They're actually, I think it's a turned solid piece of pipe, or a solid blank that's been turned, because it feels like machining marks inside. So they're not going to rust or anything like that. I think the extension's aluminum. I'm not sure. If not, it's stainless, but it's not going to rust. There was a rust mark on the inside of my muffler, but that was actually from these Indian exhaust fish tips that I ran for a very little bit. These are just regular steel, and as my experience with Indian has been so far, all things are not good. So I'll show you real quick. That was only on the bike for, you guys know, a couple weeks. And that was rusting already. And that rust was left a residue on my pipe, so I had to clean that off. But anyway, So, not exactly a sexy video, but a good time and a lot of fun to do that, and I think it looks a lot better, so there you go. Love you all to death. Take care of each other. We'll talk real soon. Bye.